Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sim Racing Weekly, your weekly news for sim racing, real life racing, and more. Also, welcome to the brand new Sim Racing Weekly YouTube channel. Hope you guys been enjoying it. My name's Isaac Edwards. Welcome. Joining me on the desk tonight, we have Scott Newton and Shannon Mason. Good evening to you two.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, got a bit of a croaky throat with me tonight. Had it all day. Thankfully, I've recovered in time for this. So our topics for tonight is we'll be talking about the new content that iRacing has recently revealed, Belle Isle and the Porsche. You'll probably know which one I'm gonna anticipate the most. Next one.
For me, it's the Porsche.
Next one's gonna be the debriefing of the Monaco Grand Prix. I cannot wait for that. That's probably one of the most. That's the best race of the year. I'll tell you that. We'll debrief OEC round 2. We'll hope to have a couple of drivers with me. The Indy 500, a bit of a milestone happened with that one. We'll reveal more of that soon. Before we brief into the VRS V8 Scops, which I actually have no idea which round it is. Oh, Oran Park. There we go. So last week, iRacing unveiled 2 new content coming into the Season 3 build within a matter of a day. So that being the Belle Isle Grand Prix, which is a street circuit on the outskirts of Detroit, Michigan, and the all-new Porsche 911 RSR, which is the GTE version of the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup. So, okay, so I want to hear your thoughts, guys. What do you think, Belle Isle or the Porker?
Porker, hands down.
It's a 50-50 on that one for me because of the fact that new track. Definitely excited to test that one. Similar sort of style. It's a kind of a crossover between Montreal, given the fact that it's a street circuit, but knowing that Belle Isle can be quite bumpy, it's got a bit of a feel like Sebring as well. So it's a bit of a crossover hybrid between those two tracks. So definitely looking forward to testing. And yeah, just the overall noise of the 911 GT3 RSR. Yeah, can't wait for that as well. So
Yeah, me personally, I love Belle Isle. I mean, yes, the Porsche has its own benefits, like it's a GTE and it's a bloody Porsche with a flat 6. But Belle Isle, this could be the catalyst of change that we need for iRacing, as we are now joined by Desmond Hargeberg. Good evening, Desmond.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. We're just talking about the 2 new content for iRacing, which is the Belle Isle and the Porker.
Yeah, I heard a little bit before I jumped in with the podcast. Obviously, everyone's getting G'd up about obviously any new content's welcome. So, but the RSR, I think for me, is going to add a lot more to the pool for the GTE. Is it for the GTEs? Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
GTE.
Yep. Yeah, I reckon it's going to be great. The more cars, I think, the better.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
reckon they should introduce it into OEC as soon as it's released.
I heard, I don't know whether I was reading the correct one, but I did think they said they were going to throw some testing on it.
Yeah, you're reading it right. We are gonna do a kind of a mid-season test when the Porker comes out to see if there's any like benefits or not big benefits between the current GTE cars used, the Ferrari 488 and the Ford GT. But watch this space. But personally, I love the Belle Isle because it's like I said, it's a catalyst of change. This could be the catalyst of change that iRacing needs. They can if the Belle Isle works successfully, they can hopefully finish Long Beach.
I'm hoping so.
Cause,
So the concept of them finishing Long Beach, in what regard is that Belle Isle being a hit, or
Because I honestly think Belle Isle will be a hit because it's the first street circuit complete in iRacing. I'm not sure if Montreal is more like a semi-permanent circuit. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is.
It's
But
Sebring.
it's still classified as a street circuit, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like Map Panorama 2. That's a semi-permanent circuit.
It's still street throughout the year, and just that event is, and the 12 hour is the track.
Yeah,
There's some of
1,000,
the
12 hour, 6 hour.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Some of the
contest.
walls and curbs and everything are there permanently, but yeah, it's a normal street track, normal road during the day.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, yeah, because it's on the border of the United States and Canada there, and it's basically it's an island, isn't it?
yeah, Belleisle's an island, and it's on the border of like you said, US and Canada. Plus Detroit being a huge motor city. In the footage, you can see the GM buildings.
Yes. Well, it's got the
Interesting.
Detroit River. Yeah.
Yeah. All you need now is someone to start singing Detroit Rock City, and we'll be good.
And some Detroit muscle.
And some Detroit muscle.
Gotta go for the Hemis.
Oh yeah, the Challenger. Well, actually, I wouldn't mind a Hellcat.
I'd prefer the old Charger.
Oh yeah, like Dom's Charger.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fast and Furious.
Sex on wheels.
Fast and the Furious reference there. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to throw it in somewhere.
Yeah, no, fair cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going back.
Yeah.
It's gone back a long time. Oh, maybe the that car, the Charger in the 1968 smash hit Bullet. As we are talking about Detroit muscle.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's Bullet. It's a big movie starring Steve McQueen.
Ah.
I saw the famous chase scene around San Francisco on YouTube. It's a very, very great. It's a very great scene. Very really iconic, too.
Okay. One question I wanted to bring up. What's the first track you're going to take through Belle Isle?
Probably sticking with its relevance. I'll probably drive the Dallara IR18 around it, but I wouldn't mind driving one of the V8 supercars around it to see what I think about it. Because honestly, supercar-wise, there are some corners that make you feel like you're in Adelaide. Like there's some corners that looks like Adelaide Turn 9.
Yeah, I've noticed that on the track map. The V8's LMP1, IndyCar, and maybe the GTE is what I'm going to run there.
Yeah. Like a segment I could do for Sim Racing Weekly, I could do like hot laps around Belle Isle when it's released, show it up on the podcast. That's a
yeah.
I got a few plans. I just need to write it down somewhere. Probably do like a video on it.
I can help you out with that if you want.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, Belle.
But well, where do they come from? Like I can understand where like the different aspects. They're doing historic tracks and stuff. And Belle Isle, I think it's being closed down anyway. But you look at personally between you guys, Belle Isle, would you prefer to race or Adelaide?
Ooh,
Adelaide.
Yeah, Adelaide.
Yeah, and I know we're Aussies and we say that, but it just seems like that you're talking about what was the previous track that they were going to finish? I forget what you were saying. What they called it?
Long Beach.
Long Beach. That's the one. I've raced it in Project Cars, and I it's a cluster. Miss a corner, you're in a wall. I don't mind street circuits. I know that's the understandable. I love Service Paradise. That's another track I'd love to race at in iRacing, but it just seems to be like they're doing, they are doing street circuits, but there are more iconic current racetracks they probably could be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I really want to see Monaco on there.
Yeah, I think
And a few others.
Yeah, Monaco, Macau. I want to see Macau in iRacing. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, Monaco you'll probably never see, due to the fact that just F1.
F1
Yeah.
and it's Co-Masters.
Yeah, Codemasters have locked it down.
Yeah.
Or they can just change the name of it. Call it. What did Project Cars call it? Some Alzir or something like that.
Gran
Côte
Turismo.
d'Azur.
Gran Turismo called it the Côte d'Azur.
Yeah.
When at the time I thought that was its official name, but I was completely oblivious. It was the famous Monaco street circuit.
Yeah. No, it was an interesting I believe there's ways around it, but they just obviously it's just blatant.
Yeah.
It's a hard one.
Well, it's just like Imola. Technically, it's not called Imola.
No, you
Yeah.
did right. Yeah.
It's called the Autodromo Enzollidino Ferrari.
Yep. I call that a bloody mouthful.
I just
Uh,
call it Imola.
Yeah, it's mostly called Imola.
Yeah. It's renowned for being called Imola.
Yeah. Alright, so away from Belle Isle, we've now got the Porsche 911 GT3 RSR, third car in the GTE class for the GTE group, and with I think Le Mans around the corner, that's going to be pretty good to have pretty much a full car grid.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Because you got
Really good.
because you got LMP1s, the Porsche 919, and the Audi R18. They're probably going to keep the LMP2, the HPD. Then you got the GTEs, which is the Ferrari 488, the Ford GT, and the Porsche 911.
I honestly think they should get rid of the LMP2 though. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, well,
Well-
the LMP2 is outdated like tenfolds.
Yeah.
Well, they could put
Plus-
another LMP2 class in there, and it's not difficult because who's running it there at the moment?
The
Ginetta.
Jeanette-
Ginetta are doing the LMP2 class cars. They're a stock car. They can,
Yeah.
and Ginetta would throw a license at iRacing, I believe.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I just find because the HPD has a higher top speed depending on the track than the LMP1, but the LMP1 has the downforce, so it can get through the corners quicker. And it, for me, it doesn't really match to what the 24-hour series should be.
Yeah.
The LMP2 car should be slower in a straight line and slower through the corners.
I'm just gonna quickly look through the 2018 WEC calendar because I think there's a couple of manufacturers in the LMP2 class. Like you've got Ginetta, and you've got Orica, Dallara, Alpine, and Ligier.
I think it was the
Oh.
Ligier because they're the ones that had the better design or something. But I'm pretty sure Ginetta. There was a toss up between those two. The main one that they're going to run. I think the last time I was reading those details because the LMP1 cars are just too damn expensive to make. I can understand why they'd pull away from it. It's like millions of dollars, but across the board they've done the right thing. I think they're pulling back to the Ginettas or that LMP2 class car. It's cheaper, doesn't require the hybrid system. Everyone they're getting stuck into the V8 supercars because they're wanting to go back to the twin turbo V6, and
Which
those got
I got
yeah.
scrapped.
yeah, which got scrapped anyway. But they are ripping on them, saying, "Oh, you should be putting hybrid systems in them," And clearly, the hybrid system in a race car isn't working. The business model or the expense cost of it isn't going to work. So, I think the Ginetta, they're onto something there. They're a natural. Well, yeah. What are they naturally? No, they're turboed or supers.
I think they run the LMP2s run the same engine, which is a Gibson V8.
Yeah, but there's no hybrid system.
No.
Yeah, and I think that's the way that it's got to head.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, isn't the LMP1's hybrid 4 cylinders diesel?
Just looking here. Oh, geez, that was loud.
Mm,
The only
someone's
hybrid,
excited.
in WEC LMP1 is the Toyota TS050.
Oh, okay.
That's
I apologize. My housemate's streaming too, so.
oh, good. Yeah. Like Formula 1 too, they've got hybrids, but I do it. It's more on the lines of ERS.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not sort of saying like the hybrid system. Yeah, I may have created a bit of confusion. Yeah, but it's the stored energy under braking or acceleration is what I'm sort of trying to. Where the LMP2 cars don't have that system.
Yeah.
I don't think they do. I don't know. But yeah, unfortunately, we are about to run out of time. So, you guys in? Any of you guys in for the next topic?
Yep, I'll be in.
Yep.
Alrighty. Goody goody. So we'll be back after this short music commercial, and I'll quickly duck off to get a drink, and we'll be back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Sim Racing Weekly, your weekly news for sim racing, real life racing, and more. I am starting to get a little bit frustrated with these no copyright sounds. They seem to end abruptly. Sorry about that. My throat's still sore. So, I want to know now. Was this year's Monaco Grand Prix possibly one of the best of all time? Because
Yes and no.
It was full of excitement. I suppose in the retrospect that it was the best of all time that an Aussie won it and who's been hunting it for a while, it's yes.
just got a comment on the YouTube section. Brett Wilson, best ever.
I honestly think it's amazing that Danny Rick won it, but under the circumstances that like the MGUK, I think it was, that failed, the rear brakes were failing throughout the race, and he had to manage that. He was lifting and coasting through the corners.
Yeah,
but it's just amazing that he won by 7 seconds at the end with all those problems.
Yeah, it's
against someone like Vettel. It's amazing effort.
I have to agree with you there. It was like around.
I was just gonna say, could you imagine how much time if I had a simulator like we do in the iRacing? How much time he must spend in that simulator smashing out laps at Monaco, because it is literally the crux of his existence in F1. Like, he's been punished there so much, and then to bring it back, it was just unstoppable. Like you said, the management alone with what he was doing was just unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 2016 when Ricardo got pole, his win got eluded because of a pretty butchered pit stop where there was no tires there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and actually, in the interviews at the end after that this race just now, or what was on the weekend, he basically apologized. He said, we stuffed up. We and we're so glad that he was able to win. And you sort of just holy crap. And that's what he says. We let him down, and it's amazing that camaraderie is that they literally claimed a responsibility for what they'd done, and yeah, to see him win was like that's what they said, to see him great.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, I just thought it was a little bit disappointing when they only had two virtual safety cars. Probably not even that.
I thought it was only one. With
I think there was only one right at the end.
yeah, with Charles Leclerc and Brendan Hartley.
I was salty about Hartley too because he was doing pretty well.
Hmm.
But what can you do when you got no brakes?
Yeah.
Did you actually see the response to that? They knew that it was playing up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they said, "Oh, we'll just see what it does."
You
Big
can't.
cloud of dust.
You
Yeah.
shouldn't gamble with brakes. It is
No.
the most dangerous part of the vehicle. If that fails, then you're screwed.
Right.
You become a missile.
Pretty much. Missile going 300 plus k's an hour. It's pretty deadly.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine losing brakes 300 kilometers an hour down Catalunya.
Oh yeah. That'll be deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that time in Bahrain where the brakes pretty much exploded and ripped off the front of someone's car.
Yeah. We'll just look at I can't remember who it was, but I think it was a Toro Rosso car at China.
Yeah.
The
was the
tires
one that I
literally
was-
exploded.
But honestly, damn Ricard, with everything that happened, like a failed MGUK, a failed like overheating brakes, overheating engine, overheating tires, he still won.
Oh yeah. It was amazing.
Oh, there you go, Sebastian Buemi, front suspension.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, that was Brett Wilson again.
Oh yeah.
F1 fan sitting in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Just the Wikipedia. What was it?
What was it? There we go. Wiki's your friend.
Okay. I got a test for him. Who won the 1995 Monaco Grand Prix?
I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to figure it out myself. Is that Schumacher?
I don't know.
I'm going to say Nigel Mansell, just
Oh, I was watching, and before the race actually started, F1 put a thing on about the 1995 World Formula One Championship, and I think I missed Monaco.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty much that year was pretty much the Schumacher Damon Hill affair.
Yeah, I know who wins. Anyone else?
Yes, I do.
The what 95 Monaco Grand Prix.
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
I just looked it up.
Okay.
Does Brett Wilson know?
Well, he's taking his time.
Give him a few more seconds, he'll just search it.
Well,
Like the rest of us.
Yeah.
yeah.
I got another question. Who qualified on pole?
I know that too.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. Calm down, guys. Calm down. All right.
I wish this and you didn't watch. Yeah, okay.
30 seconds. There you go.
Okay, Damon Hill qualified on pole and Mark Webber won. Michael Schumacher.
Michael
sorry.
Schumacher. I don't think Mark Webber debuted in '95.
Uh,
I think it.
That-
I
no,
can't remember.
it was.
I
He was in Jordan days. So, no.
I don't know where he was first up.
I know he was in Jaguar at one point. But anyway, we're going off
Yeah.
topic at the moment.
Yeah,
Well,
way up.
it's kind of related to F1. I could tell you that.
Right.
There we
Go
go.
ahead.
2002 Australian Grand Prix with looks like Minardi
Minardi.
Oh yeah.
Minardi, then Jaguar, then Williams, then
and
Red Bull. And
Yeah.
that's it. And he retired off the Porsche.
of the Porsche 2014 to 2016. Now he's officially retired as an ambassador to Porsche.
Yep.
Finally got his world championship.
Yep.
Unfortunately, in WEC, but the World Championship's a World Championship, and full credit to him. And
Yep,
but,
totally
but
agree.
yeah, as an F1 fan, I would have liked to have seen him win the 2010 championship. But yeah, Seb got it at the final race.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I think that was it Korea that same year. He was either first or second, and yeah, he had that big accident in the I think second or third sector towards the first third of the race, and yeah, that's probably what cost him the most. I think
Russia.
that championship. Yeah,
Russia when he did the backflip.
no, that was Valencia.
Oh.
That one.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Russia.
Oh, he could have had a couple. I'm not sure.
I know
but
he had one.
I know he flipped into the pool at Monaco.
Mm,
Turkey.
yeah, definitely.
Turkey. That was Turkish Grand Prix.
Yeah, that was a big one as well.
Yeah.
So
And I was looking here. The European Grand Prix, Mark Webber, his car went flying into the air. That was at Valencia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. It just looks like parts from the Russian Grand Prix.
Yeah, true.
I get those kind of the new tracks all mixed up now.
Yeah,
They all
'cause
look the same.
they all look the same. Like Valencia, some parts looks like it's Baku or
Yeah.
Sochi.
Oh yeah, it was Henki Kovalainen that he collided with.
Yeah, Henki
From
Kovalainen collided into Weber, who collected track advertising board.
Yeah.
How does that
And then-
work?
And then remember Mark Webber's old 1999 Le Mans crash?
Oh yeah, with the Mercedes.
Yep. That was pretty insane.
yeah,
Yeah,
two big accidents in the same weekend.
Yeah.
that I think someone said to me that the first time Mercedes, Weber told the Mercedes team member, said, guys, the car went airborne, and they didn't believe him because it wasn't on the air.
Yeah.
Second time, it was on the air, and Mercedes was like, whoa, okay, we are pulling out. And they pulled out for like the next pulled out for motorsport for the next decade.
I don't know.
Next decade at least. Like in
Okay.
top tier. Like I think they were still around in like DTM, but top tier they weren't down until 2010 when they bought the what's that team again?
It was Braun, wasn't it?
Braun. Yeah, I guess Braun GP.
Oh yeah, that was a great team.
Yeah.
First year in and fucking dominated. That was awesome. Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to say.
Yeah, all
It
good.
was one of the only one or two teams that entered entered in 1 year. Oh, the first year that they entered, they won.
Yeah.
And
Didn't they only last one season as well?
yeah, they only won one season before they got bought out by Mercedes.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't realise
considering where they were the year before, they were absolutely nowhere with was it Honda? Honda
Yeah.
F1 team. So full credit to all those guys as well. For turning around, that was actually a pretty good championship as well. For those that haven't seen it, you should check it out.
Okay, I know there's a lot of controversy behind him, but what did you think about Max's drive on the weekend?
Oh, I'm pretty satisfied about what he did. Started from P20 after crashing the car at the swimming pool chicane, same place he did 2 years ago.
Which I think was funny as hell.
that was
Yeah.
deja vu.
Yeah,
Same place,
that
same
when I saw
way.
it.
That was deja vu there.
I didn't watch qualifying, so when I first saw it on Facebook, I was like,
Wow.
some of these guys are lying. There's no way. It's got to be edited or some description. And then I actually watched a replay of it, and I was like, yeah, okay. Fair cool.
Well, I tell you what, you even watched the replay of Ricardo, and he just about did the exact same thing as a few guys that just about come undone. But Ricardo only just got away. I mean, if he had been another, 10, 15 mil, it probably would have stoved the side of his car in. Like, that's how close he was.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a hard track, but it's insofar as Max and his drive, like, it's scary. Like, holy crap, if I had that coming up, just some of the places that he was putting that car, and especially into that chicane, it just holy crap. And he's mounting the curbs, and then the guy's going, that's all right. He's sort of going, no, it ain't.
Yeah.
So, he tried to get it back on the track. But yeah, insofar as his drive, he done well. It was do or die for him, realistically.
Yeah.
He had to put it all on the line on that race, and he did. And maybe that's what's going to keep him there for a little bit longer. I don't know.
Yeah. It's also looking. It was also the debut of the brand new Hypersoft tire compound, which we saw that the lead cars, which was mainly like Vettel, Ricardo, and that, only lasted approximately 12, 14 laps on these new compounds.
Yeah, and then I think they switched to the purple tires and went the rest of the race.
Ultras. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Also, a bit of controversy with Sergei Sorokin having his car having the tires not fitted within the 3-minute board. That was
Yeah, I think that's kind of pathetic by Williams. They're an A-class team making mistakes like that. Come on.
Yeah. Like it's stupid. Like, and but I just want to know here, driver of the day, who you think it should be?
I think it's 50-50 with both Red Bull drivers. I think they just both did a fantastic job. Coming from last to finish 9th, and obviously Ricardo's effort to win the race the way he did, and with the problems he had, yeah, I'd go Red Bull both.
Yeah.
Both drivers.
I honestly think Ricardo should have driver of the day, because in those regards of having the MGUK fail severely on him within like the first half of the race, to then finish the way he did, it was purely stunning, and it's up there with one of the greatest finishes of all, with guys such as like Senna, Schumacher and all that. I mean, Ricardo that one's pretty much the greatest Monaco race of this decade alone. Having to pretty much continue on with everything failing on him, and I actually read online that Ricardo was actually thinking of retiring the car, but Christian Horner said, "No, we're in the league, keep going." And look where it happened. What happened afterwards? Yeah. He won.
I think he said in the interview when he got the news that when he noticed the power was going to go, or the power was going, he turned around and said, "Yeah, I felt like just bawling my eyes out because I knew it was over." But yeah, he just got the encouragement to keep going, and he did a fantastic job of it.
Yeah. Last thing, as we just ran out of time. Out of 10, would you rate the belly flop?
uh,
A 4.
yeah, yeah, I'll go 4.5, 5.
It didn't really look painful, but it was just
No.
it was so damn funny.
Should have done a backflip or something.
Yeah.
Do it with style.
Actually, Lewis Hamilton encouraged Dan Ricciardo to do the belly flop.
Oh, okay.
Look, yeah. So the seed was planted, but it was done.
Good photo opportunity though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved.
Yeah. Also the shoey on the Monaco podium as well. Good to see one there as well.
Yep.
I didn't see that. No.
Nothing can beat the Australian shoey.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that F1 has copyrighted apparently.
Yeah. Formula One shoey, get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we did a topic on it. We did a topic on it a while ago. You want to look it up? Look it up on Jumbuck Media. Anyway.
Yeah, that's right. I missed that one.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back after this quick commercial break. We'll be back.
breed, isn't it? Like even
Yeah.
Al Nabi, like it's
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Even Ethan Green Gold. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, sorry, that was my mistake. I was going to queue in, but I got completely sidetracked. I do apologize. Welcome back. OEC round 2. Obviously, this is going to be a little bit different than what I did in round 1, where we had like a bunch of drivers come in. This is all like time limited now, so I don't think anyone will join in. But unfortunately, I missed out due to me doing real life stuff. But can anyone hopefully anyone can fill in what basically happened in OEC round 2?
carnage.
Carnage.
Yeah, and lots of it.
Round 2 in a nutshell.
It was carnage. There was carnage in the comms, not in the comms box, in the race control. There was carnage on the field. It was just an all out, just carnage. But as far as I'm concerned, it was still a brilliant race. It was still really good.
Oh yeah, very very close racing up the front. Very close. It was even great in the GTE side of it, where last safety car we had, I think it was 7 cars on the lead lap fighting for position.
Yeah. I only watched like at least the couple of minutes of it, as it was during the off when I wasn't racing. So, by having a look at it, there were some cases of GTE drivers not giving way to the LMP1 cars. For example, when Reece Gardner I don't think Reece Gardner got impeded. Did he get impeded by a traffic to make him roll over?
Yes and no. He did that himself. Like it was any of the accidents that were caught. Like, and I'll say this: there's no position on that track a GTE car is able to physically give room to an LMP1 car. It's the LMP1 car has the speed, the boost. They've got everything there. It was up to them, and like a lot of guys, it'd be nothing for me when I was in the GTE car to lose a second just trying to give that LMP car the advantage. Because I'll tell you what, they were slower in some cases than the GTE cars around corners.
Yeah, I'll second that one. Plus, there was also a couple of times where I've almost hit the pit wall because the GTEs moved across, and I went to go between them and the wall, and there's a step out on it, and yeah, I almost clobbered that wall. It was even covered on the broadcast at one point and early in the race. And there's been a couple of times where that almost happened, and I just hit the brakes, just pulled out of it. Too much risk.
Yeah.
The one race-ending crash that basically occurred, and we all said it at the race brief. We were warned about it in the race brief. Was El Rouge, and take your time. And there was a car. I think it may have been a bit of netcode involved, but I'm not exactly the 2 cars that were involved, but basically turned one of the GTE cars as he flicked past him. The LMP1 flicked past on the outside, and basically just slingshot him straight into just lost control and just slinged him straight into the exit of the pit bay there, and it annihilated his car. So
Damn.
Yeah, I tried to pass a GT there in practice, and yeah, it's not going to happen, regardless of how far you up beside the GTE or how quick you are. You're not going to go too wide there. It's just going to end badly for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, it's Eau Rouge, Blanchiment, and the other one I can't remember what it was.
Butt stock. I don't know. Poulon, that's the one.
Yeah,
It's something to do with the butt.
Yeah.
But yeah, Poulon was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just not going to go too wide through those corners. It's just never going to happen.
No.
But yeah, it was I'll take my hat off to the guys that run this. They do a brilliant job on it. I really do. But there was a lot of kinks that and they did iron them out. Was with the waiver rounds, and I know. I'm gonna, like, even with my own teammates, I had a bit of a sort of a discussion. I was really shitty, and I mean, I got irate. I was just angry, and then I had to, when I got out of the car after it. Basically, there was a crash, a yellow, and then we decided to stay out. We still had about 15 laps of fuel left in the car. Everyone else ducked in under yellow. And then obviously the LMP ones stacked up behind me, but then they did the wave around and it brought all those guys in those full fueled cars straight back onto my ass. So, any advantage that I could have gained, I'd lost. But then I was talking with the other guys about it and they basically said they said, no, that you're gaining an unfair advantage. And I said, yeah, but they restructured the entire thing. They put the LMP ones to the front and then waved everyone around and back in behind. And I've lost my advantage. And obviously our strategy will change in future.
Yeah.
But yeah.
In my honest opinion, I don't think they should do wave rounds.
All right. Judgy joining us now from Race Control and who also raced in last rounds, Phil Morton. Good evening, Phil.
Good evening, guys.
Evening.
How you going, Phil?
Hey,
Yo.
he's the man that can explain it to us while he's here. The wave rounds.
Yes. Can I put my hand up and apologise to everybody for that?
Go ahead.
You don't have
Literally-
to, man.
Good on you, Phil.
Honestly, don't apologise for
one
something.
job.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, I'm not going to apologise for doing it back to front
Yeah.
twice.
You had one job, Phil. Just one job.
Really sorry about that, guys. We have got measures in place to make sure that doesn't happen next round or any future rounds. So, yeah, the wave rounds will always happen before the pit lane is open going forward. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Too easy.
That'll
Straight
fix
up. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
I'm not, and like I said, in hindsight, even with our own team, like I was explaining, I'm sort of going, am I wrong in saying what I've said? And they said, well, kind of, yeah. You should have just pulled into the pits and taken fuel, and you would have cycled into the exact same spot. And I said, but by me staying out, I get the advantage, and they're saying, no, you're not allowed the advantage. That's the whole point of it. So I was a bit, and I don't know where I stand on the matter completely, but what in that scenario, like Shannon was just basically saying, should we not have waiver rounds in that scenario?
The only wave rounds that get given are for the GTEs to try and get the cars behind, like in front of the lead GTE, to go around and rejoin the back of the queue. It's the only real chance, I suppose, that those cars that are about to go a lap down are prevented from going that lap down and they can rejoin the back of the queue and race on as normal. But, of course, that does give an advantage to those cars because now they've rejoined at the back and back of the queue and they've gained the loss of that lap back, basically. But I don't see a fairer way to do it because the lead GTE should be the lead GTE. It shouldn't be the GTE fifth in the line, if you see what I mean, on the restart.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. In knowing that now, it changes our strategy. But the way my understanding of it is, if there's going to be a wave around, it would be me, and I would go onto the back of it. I'd be the only one getting waved around, and I'd go onto the back. But then what happens is when I pit, I'll cycle back onto everyone else. Even though I'm a lap up, I'll actually I'll unlap once they come back around, and they'll be virtually in the same spot. So the advantage I'm gaining is if I've got fresh air as opposed to the guys behind, I'm gaining that time, but I'm fundamentally losing it back in the pits.
I see what you mean, but it happened. Let's put it that way.
I'm not.
It was meant to be that the wave rounds were done before we opened the pits, but I quite happily say that I made that mistake. Sorry.
And I'm not
we can blame you that.
It's all right. A couple of guys picked up on it. Believe me, we got a few notifications in RC about it.
I was like I said, I was just absolutely, because probably the biggest thing is I wasn't mad at you guys. I was mad at myself. I didn't follow the masses.
Yeah.
Everyone pulled into the pits, and that's probably the biggest thing, but now we know, or I know, and we can now structure our strategy around that. Yeah, it won't be a problem in future.
Yeah, I think there was only about 2 or 3 cars that ended up losing out because of that, and yours happened to be one of them, unfortunately. So again, a lot can be done now.
I think we did at one point too, because at one stage we didn't pit and the other guys did because we had enough fuel. and they ended up right up our ass
Yep.
at the last caution. So yeah,
Yeah,
you weren't the only one that lost out on it, but it is what it is. Move on to next round.
Yeah.
One
Which
big
is
announcement I want to find out, because this puts us either on the podium or not on the podium.
What happened to the 200 car? That's the one you
Yeah.
want, isn't it?
Yes.
Is that-
Well, I was literally in race control about 10 minutes ago. We're going to go through the penalties right now, so stay tuned. You'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope this is the I believe this is the third last topic, so hopefully I can be out and ready in time. The Brad Wilson, the 200 car. Oh,
200 was ASM, wasn't it?
Yep.
yeah.
Wasn't on Arby. Yeah, got taken out.
Wasn't spun. Yeah, it got
Yeah.
spun in the bus stop by the 200 car rejoining across the sausage curbs,
Okay.
and then suffered a left rear suspension failure after the Trick Sim Sports car made contact.
That sounded
Yeah.
like
That's-
mayhem.
Wow.
It was mayhem. There's nothing I can say about the review now, because obviously that's the facts of what occurred. But I'll let you know as soon as we actually have more eyes than just mine on it.
Was
It-
this incident between the last quarter of the race?
This is in the last yellow. It was like,
Oh,
the
okay.
sprint to the finish.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, okay.
after the a yellow could be thrown, and it was after we would be putting an in-sim penalty in.
Yeah, because I saw
So-
that there was a contact out of the source. I think someone might have had a hardware failure that was coming down to into overage, and just tagged the what would have been the classic pit lane entry, and just took out a another GTE and possibly an LMP as well. So
Yeah, that was
that
the
was the final
257
safety
car, I believe.
That was on restart.
No, that was the cause of the final yellow.
Oh,
As he came out of last source, his wheel died, and he just turned, like, his car just slowly drove straight into the pit wall and then bounced back out and hit the Kiwi Sim Sports Ferrari. And there was 20 seconds between a yellow and no yellow. That's how close it was.
it's 20 seconds. Oh,
It was 20 seconds before the cutoff point.
because we were sweating on a yellow. We're going, we need a yellow, just to, stack the field back up. And because it was literally a fairy tale ending for us, because we've managed to come back, because after that pit, after the sort of stuff up we had, we came back out in 21st, and we came all the way back through the field to, I think, 7th. And then we were waiting, and then the yellow came out. We managed to stack up again, got away again, and then all of a sudden it was like Zeus was just sitting there with lightning, just throwing them, going, you and you and you.
You get a crash. You get the crash. You get a crash. You all get a crash.
I think I need to have a word with this use bloke, because he hit me and I wasn't happy about it.
Maybe speak to 4 as well.
Oh, it was insane. And when we come around the last lap, we're coming around the the double sweeper coming onto the back straight. Was it 4th position? Yeah, it was. Because we were in 5th, and then 4th was spun behind the Trick Motorsport, and I've just gone, and we're going, what the? And then we come around the corner and said, that's 4th, and then we watched the replay, and then we've gone, we might have 3rd. We're just going, hell yes. So
yeah. Well, it does depend on the amount of time between all the cars now. So we are looking into it. Again, like the penalty reviews, the penalty time frame to field them is up until tonight, like midnight tonight. So if there's any
Fun.
other protests coming in, they've only got about 3.5 hours left. But we'll get most of the reviews done tonight. And if any late ones come in, we'll get them done in the morning.
yeah, we've been sweating on it. So
Yeah, you're not the only ones. I've had more than a few sweaty messages about it.
I don't think we had any issues with our DFM LMP1. We pretty much almost had a faultless race, except for my pedals playing up halfway through the first stint.
I think I think the only thing that I ever saw from the DFM car was the contact with the pit wall, and
Almost.
come,
Almost.
was
I
it
didn't
was
get
it
it.
almost
It
because
was
on the replay it was a contact, but obviously the replay is slightly different from each person's perspective. So
Yeah. I didn't hit it. I slammed on the brakes before I hit it. Yeah,
Nicely done.
it was a brown pants moment because I thought the GTE was going to come over, and I was like, yeah, I might be able to squeeze into that. And I saw him starting to come over. I was like, yeah, no, I'm backing out of that.
Yeah,
It's too early in the race to make moves like that.
yeah. I have to cut you short. Oh, go on.
Yeah,
One more
go on.
thing. Let's say we just ran out of time. Topics are now time limited.
Right.
Been like that for a little while. So, any last comments before we switch over to the penultimate topic?
Next round, Imola. Pipe.
Hype. Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm
Let-
scared.
I'm very scared because there's LMP1s and then there's a very anti-Alta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I am literally shitting myself. I don't know how there's. Could you imagine an LMP1 coming up on you as you come through into that bottom section where it rises up the hill, with an LMP1 trying to take you on the inside through there? Like, it's just going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Just wait until
Oh,
you've
I
got LMP1s fighting and you've got one up the inside, one around the outside, and one on the grass just for good measure.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be daring.
It's going to be a hectic race, but I think it's going to be a patience game, just like
Definitely.
how Spa was, but worse.
Yeah.
Spa was longer.
Yeah.
Road America was scary when we had screenshots of we were in the middle and there was an LMP like what Phil was just saying, an LMP on the grass and then two either side of you. Like, and they're literally going and you're sort of going, oh my god. Like,
It's going to end badly. It was.
I think that was like the first stint of Road America. Yeah, that was pretty intense.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I think Spa was worse because of the high risk corners. There was more patience involved.
Yeah, there's some very long corners as well, which only had one real line through them, Puon especially. Like once the GTE is committed to that line, the LMP1 has to go, right, well, I either dive or I sit behind for the entire corner and lose maybe half a second to a second. And so a lot of the LMPs were like, well, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? And you saw about 2 or 3 of them try the do I. And it never worked, not once. I think the most obvious one was when the 2 LMPs collided in the corner. And it wasn't necessarily the fault of the trailing LMP, but he did lose it under brakes and then tap the other LMP off the track and got a penalty for it.
Yeah.
But from
an LP1 standpoint point of view, I think Emma's going to be a little bit better because at Spa we had to run the low downforce setup, and at Imola we're running the high downforce setup because I've done some testing already. So I'm super keen for it. And with the high downforce setup, you can brake later into the corners, later than what you ever think, because of the amount of downforce that it produces. With the low downforce setup, you actually have to brake really early for some corners, and it's going to be different, really different.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we'll now have to go into a bit of a break, going into the penultimate topic. Hopefully, you guys will be here. Will you all be here?
I'm gonna say goodbye. I have to say goodnight to my daughter, so I will call it and bid you adieu for the night. Thanks, guys.
No worries.
See you, mate.
See ya.
Catch you later.
Everyone else will be staying, correct?
I'll be able to stay around, yeah.
Alright, no worries. We'll be back right after this.
at this, but one thing I do is I constantly hit. Oh, sorry.
All good. Welcome back to Sim Racing Weekly, your weekly news for sim racing, real life racing, and more. Well, a record was made at the Indy 500. A record was made, and that is of Will Power becoming the first Australian to win the Indy 500. How's that for a feat?
Oh, it was a pretty amazing weekend for Australians, wasn't it? You had Willpower at the Indy, you had
Damn.
Ricardo at the F1, and who was the other one?
We had Alex Pinoni winning in the European Formula
F2.
Yeah, in Monaco, and you got Matt Hall, who won in the Red Bull Air Race.
Oh, wow.
So we got 4.
We got round 4.
Nice.
So, yeah, Willpower did an amazing run for the weekend.
And I heard that most of the front runners were having the pit because they were low on fuel.
All I know is Danica Patrick crashed and I cheered, so it's all good.
Wow.
No,
Poor Danica, she gets so much hate.
I do not like her. I think she was only in there for her looks and that's it.
Well, not to take away from Danica, she's actually a good open wheel driver. She was just shoehorned into NASCAR to get more money. That's all it was. But she kind of got quite pissed off about it as well because she was an open wheel driver and NASCAR wasn't her thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will agree with you. Open wheel is fantastic, but in NASCAR, she's absolutely freaking useless. She was only there for her looks and the media, and that's it. It's the way I saw it anyway. I know that's very sexist, but yeah, she wasn't any good in NASCAR.
Yeah.
So you can say that about Marcus Ambrose as well. He was great in streets, in road courses, but absolutely terrible on oval.
Because he's mostly crafted into in the road courses. That's how he did well in supercar during his run in supercars.
Yeah.
That was.
But I think one of his best oval finishes was, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is at the paperclip. Got the name of it.
Queensland Raceway.
Queensland Raceway.
No, the other paperclip, the American paperclip.
The Glen.
No, it's an oval. I said best oval finish.
Oh, the best ever.
Oh,
And I believe I have it. I think it's
Martinsville.
Yeah, that's the one.
It was either Martinsville or Bristol.
And Martinsville, I believe. Because it suits the road.
yeah, it's Martinsville.
All right.
Yeah. I believe that's his best oval finish on that track. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
I am trying to find that out for you. Martinsville. I think it runs on the MAR. Yeah, there we go. MAR. 23, 19. MAR. 5th. And
He finished
Yeah.
fifth.
he finished 5th.
Oh,
At both Bristol and Martinsville.
Well, there you go. I stand corrected. It was both.
And that was on his final year. His final year in NASCAR until he attempted to return to supercars in 2015. Didn't really work.
That way. Sorry, talking to the cat, trying to stand on my laptop.
Bloody cat. But yeah, Will Power winning the race by 3 seconds over Ed Carpenter, with Kiwi Scott Dixon in third.
Oh wow.
So that's 3 teams and 2 manufacturers in the top 3.
Wow.
Team
I'm gonna
Penske,
What-
Ed Carpenter, and Chip Ganassi.
Isn't it more scary that a Kiwi got in third?
I think he was a past winner. He was a past winner of the Indy 500.
Yeah, he's the past winner and past IndyCar champion. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a
that's even more scary.
I wish I would
Oh,
say
shit.
which championship best finish.
It
Oh,
does show the
here we go.
Kiwis can turn left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
they can turn right too.
IndyCar is a mixture of oval and road course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe they have three type of championships. They got oval, road, and both. So
Next round is surprise, surprise, the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear Corporation at Belle Isle.
Detroit.
I wonder what's going to be going off in a couple of weeks on iRacing.
Belle Isle. Let me think. Belle Isle.
I think they might have timed that pretty well.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
the new schedule comes out at the right time, then Belle Isle will be out the same time the races happen.
they did it on purpose. I swear it.
Wait, that's this weekend.
Yep.
Is it?
Yeah,
Damn.
the race at Belle Isle is this weekend. Oops.
The
I'm gonna
iRacing
have to watch
track
it.
is released the week after.
Yes.
It's on Tuesday next week, so this time next week we'll have it. To be fair, so
Yep.
yeah, just a couple of days after the race. Well
And
done.
I'll have a Porsche.
And the
Yay!
and
More pork.
and maybe Chili Bowl.
No,
Or,
Yeah,
it's a dirt over.
Yeah, you won't find me in the Chili Bowl, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll be in testing Renault for AOR next season. We'll definitely be going to that. I know that Belle Isle's confirmed for the Formula Renault schedule for next season. So
I've actually been interested in running Formula Renaults. I've been running for quite a while. I'm now going to stop racing them for a little while to try and get onto my B license. I'm at that critical zone now,
yeah,
so
Oh, could I also bring up one other thing? Just I recently came up. One of my teammates found it. AMF are starting a development enduro series.
oh really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I found that last night, and I'm like, yep, demo, let's do it. And
Yep, it's also a fixed setup series, so no need for those who haven't actually driven with the 919 or the R18 to try and fiddle around with their incredibly complicated setups.
No
so-
way.
It's fixed setup, so everybody has a much more even playing field.
VRS straight up.
Just looking here too. Will Power also won the Indianapolis Grand Prix at the IndyCar Grand Prix at Indianapolis. So I think it's the first time ever someone's actually done the doubleheader. Won the doubleheader.
I'm not 100% sure about that.
I may be wrong. I'm not sure. But yeah, I was just skimming
No.
through and I saw that and I'm like, whoa.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did the double.
He did the double.
That's an awesome effort.
Yeah. So Will was on pole position for the Indy Grand Prix, and he obviously had the most laps led. But yeah, Scott Dixon got the fastest lap of the race in that one.
Australia, New Zealand, Australia. That's pretty scary.
Yep. And for the Indy 500, Ed Carpenter was on pole position.
He
and
did the most laps, but Helio Castroneves did the fastest laps.
yeah, so yeah,
I-
obviously to win the race, you have to lead the lap of the most important lap, which is the last one.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether you
Yeah.
lead 1 or 200. So
I think they do run on the same similar point system as NASCAR. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a point for the fastest lap, a couple point or two for how many the most lap led, and obviously winning the race or something.
I think that's
There's
right.
different points for different things, type of thing.
yeah,
Yeah, I think you're right on that one.
I'm just not 100% sure how NASCAR runs it because they're American, so they're always weird.
Yeah. Well, Whoopsie. Also, another thing about the AR-18 is that it seems to be a bit of less aero compared to last year's wacky DW12. Do you think the cars are quicker in a straight line now?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say definitely in a straight
Definitely.
line. In I'd say doing the Indy 500 on iRacing, the particular setup that I was running had about 5 laps in the tires, and then you were pretty much in the train for the rest of the other 25 or so laps that you had to burn off the fuel. But it just depends on really how you trim out the car as well. Whether your setup is built for absolute top speed in the race, or whether your setup is more catered to traffic, where you know that you're going to be in the pack and you need that extra downforce to be able to stay with people. So
Yeah. And Shannon, you're right. Points include qualification points on time trials, 1 point for leading a lap, and 2 points for most laps led.
Oh, there you go. I know that from a couple of years back when I used to watch it. I suppose I still remember it.
Yeah.
yeah, I know that the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series follows this point system as well, so it's a bit of a minefield to get your head around. But yeah, it looks as though that it's a fairly simple system. Other than the I think the NASCAR system was like it was 1 point. So yeah, each position that you were further down, you'd lose points incrementally by 1, rather than the IndyCar system where you've got 50 for first, and then 40 for second, then 35 for third, and then it sort of trails down in 1 or 2 point increments until you get to like 25th, where you get 5 points.
Actually,
Yeah.
speaking of NASCAR, Kyle Busch became, I think, the first person in the modern day to win every single race. To win at all tracks that he's raced at.
I don't like him.
But looking here as well, looking at the stats, 18 drivers finished on the lead lap. So that's from Will Power to Charlie Kimball in P18.
Nice.
Then you got the lappers. Started from Zachary Klarman DeMello, rookie. Then Spencer Pickett, Connor Daly, Max Chilton, Zach Beach, Jay Howard, Tony Kanaan, Sage Karam, Helio Castroneves, Sebastian Bourdais, Kyle Kazia, Danica Patrick, Ed Jones, Takuma Sato, and James Davison. So
yeah, it's certainly interesting to see the last year's Indy 500 winner so far down.
yeah.
I think Takuma won last year's race.
Yep.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job to win that one.
Then I think he got in contact with James Davison, because it looks like James retired on lap 45. He retired in lap 46.
All I know is I lasted 4 laps in the iRacing one, so.
Well,
Yeah,
That's
I lasted 200, so it was a long race, put it that way. So I know what these drivers go through to some extent. Obviously, no G-force and all that sort of thing, but yeah, to do a virtual Indy 500, it's pretty tiring, to be fair, just due to the sheer length of it.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
It'd be very similar to the 6 hours doing 3-hour stints, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
mm,
And 2-minute pace laps as well, when a caution comes out too. So
Yeah.
there's obviously stuff that you got to weigh up with that too. So
yeah. Would be a bit of a pain.
but yeah, I was also going to find out what everyone's thoughts were. I know that there was a bit of hoopla in the week leading up to it that Hinchcliffe was trying to get into the top 33 after he didn't qualify. as I know that there was 35 cars that showed up for the qualification, but obviously there's only 33 slots to get into the race, so a pretty much a mainstay for Hinchcliffe to be in the field, but obviously not qualifying within the top 33. So just wondering what your thoughts are on that as well.
That was
In my opinion, it's very much like Scops. If you don't qualify, that's it. Too bad, too sad. See you next round.
yeah, like
I have to say it's a pretty fair way to do it because what gives you the right to get into a series just because you turn up? Like you have to qualify. I don't see how it could be any other way.
Well, that's why Scops has been doing it for years and it's been working. Yeah, I might just miss out, but the only reason why I would get salty is if people pull out without saying anything. Phillip Island. Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, I missed out by, I think, one person because no, 3 people didn't say they're gonna miss it, and yeah, I should have been in that race, but yeah, it's the only reason why I'm salty about it.
Was that the top split race, or was that the second
It's-
split race?
Second split.
Oh, okay.
I'm too slow to get into top split.
I actually, admittedly myself, I wouldn't make any splits because I am so slow.
It couldn't be as bad as me in a GT3.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I've got to go. Thank you for having me on here,
No worries.
and I'll see you all in the next round. I think we've got OSC soon as well.
Yeah, we do. Final round
Oh.
at Nürburgring.
Yeah.
Phil, I wanted to ask you about the Porsche round that you guys are starting up.
Okay, go for it.
When, where, what's going on?
Okay,
no,
the new season 3 of what used to be OSC is now GRSSA, I think it is.
Yeah.
The Porsche Super Cup is going to be alternating with GRSSA. So GRSSA will be 1 week, Porsche Super Cup will be the week after, and it'll alternate throughout the season. That way it's always on the same day.
All right.
Fair enough.
And for V8s Online.
Nice.
Just
Good coverage.
say here, I'm a privateer at the moment, so
Come talk to me after the podcast.
okay. Well, I'm a free agent at the moment, and I'm not gonna go completely into a team yet. I just need to do my own stuff at the moment before deciding to do what is what. Like I've got my opportunities wide open. Like, wouldn't mind going to where Shannon is, or wouldn't mind going to FT1. Wouldn't mind going to anywhere, to be honest.
We're hunting for more drivers to fill out more cars, so
Alrighty.
still.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Again.
Anyway, guys, thanks again. I'll see you guys later.
So yeah,
Nice,
See
take
you,
care.
Phil.
and I'm just gonna end. Silly me, I didn't put the timer on when I wanted it on, so I think we're all sick and tired of the Indy 500.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it, so
Yeah, I didn't watch it too, so we'll be back for one last topic. For those who are still watching with us, thank you very much for being a part of the Sim Racing Weekly, as well as being a part of the new YouTube channel. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Sim Racing Weekly, your weekly news for sim racing, real life racing, and more. This is the final topic. This is Scops at the only fallen track on the calendar that is being of Oran Park.
It's going to be an exciting one.
Yes. During the break, Scott Newton had to head off, so we thanked him for being on board. But hopefully he'll be back next week.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So I know we're all interested in round 6 at the moment, but in light of that though, there's been a bit of controversy that's come out of the final round, mainly with Thomas McMillan having 186 points, rendering him out for the next 4 rounds.
Oh wow, what did he do?
There were a couple of incidents that race controller noted, but it looked pretty minor in regards to points. I'm just gonna quickly bring up the oop, that's the wrong one. I'll just look up the penalty system as I click onto other programs. iTunes, yay. So let's just have a look around 4 first up. So Thomas McMillan was on 93 points for round 4. So where was Thomas McMillan in the first split? Second split, because I know he was in the second split. He didn't get any penalties. Split 1, Thomas McMillan. Thomas. Looks like there was one with Corey Preston. That was a racing incident. Couldn't find anything else, but yet he racks up 185 points. And I think I've also saw somewhere where the incident points are racked up by incident points.
No, okay.
So there's a bit of controversy over it, which is not what we needed.
I haven't actually really been watching the top split races, so I'm pretty behind on that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Stop swearing.
Yeah. Hearing stuff in the background.
Yeah, sorry. Housemate's still streaming.
All good. Yeah. And now, coming into next round, we've got 5 drivers who will be out for the next couple of rounds. It's just...
who's are they?
Thomas McMillan, Daniel Williams, Corey Preston, Jason Hyde, and Brady Myers.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably a record of some hand, but a record that Scots don't really need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect Brady Myers to have a penalty like that.
Yeah. It just seemed very weird. But yeah.
Who's leading? This might be a stupid question, but who's leading the championship at the moment?
I think it's Jarrett Philsell.
Like I said, stupid question.
Last couple of rounds, he's had a pretty off race. I mean, Phillip Island, big example. Watkins Glen, another one.
Oh yeah.
Jake,
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't really been watching it, so.
yeah. I'm trying to remember these, even though my brain's a bit shot because I'm not feeling that great. So, if I stumble on stuff or start being pretty croaky, I do apologise, but I think the stream's going to end pretty shortly.
All good. You can't be as tired as I am. So it's all good.
Oh, good. So,
If I didn't remember the stream was on tonight, I would have probably passed out earlier.
damn. Anyway. But, yeah. It's going to be it's going to be a great race this weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because there's always close racing, and the field's going to be compact so much that even lap traffic's going to be an issue really quick in the race.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree.
And I really do hope that someone can put it to Fuel Cell, even though I do respect him for his skill and how consistent he has been this season. But yeah, someone needs to start taking it to him.
Yeah, and I think
and doing it consistently.
TTL are pretty much all absent recently, so I hope they start bouncing back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't even know what happened to Rogers. I think he's more focused on F1 at the moment.
Yeah, that's what he's been doing now. He's more focused on F1, so he stepped down from Scops.
Well, I would be too if I was that quick.
Yeah. Yeah, at the moment it's gonna be a TTR fair for God knows how long.
Oh yeah. A random question: how's Emily Jones doing?
She's been doing pretty good. I've seen her results, and she's up there
Okay.
playing with the big boys.
Nice.
So
It's always good to see people like her getting up there and fighting the big boys out for it, and yeah. And it's always good to see new people coming into the series and putting it into the top split straight up and stuff like that. It's always exciting to see new faces.
yeah, but yeah, I think that's all from us here. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all of us here from Sim Racing Weekly tonight. Make sure to put in a timetable now. Tuesdays, 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Sim Racing Weekly. On behalf of myself, the guys who joined us, which is Shannon Mason, Scott Newton, Desmond Harjaber, and Phil Morton. I might have forgotten one or two.
DFM recruiting.
Yeah. DF.
Sorry. Yeah, the Sync Force Motorsport.
The Sync Force Motorsport is recruiting, so if you want to join them, private message Shannon Mason, and he'll forward you to the racemen and to the guys who own it.
Just message me. I'll sort everything else out.
Yeah, pretty much. Message Shannon Mason.
I've been promoted recently to sports car manager, so if you're interested in running the LMP1 GT3s or GTEs or anything like that, just message me straight up.
All right.
I'll sort this out with everything else. Sorry, I know shouldn't do shameless plugs, but
No. I'm fine with shameless plugs.
Awesome.
No shame. That's the point.
That is true.
All right. On behalf of everyone here on Sim Racing Weekly, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll be back here next Tuesday. Thank you.
watching you. Just come to me. It will be there taking your hand. You meet the unknown. You can't walk away for some